Welcome back, everyone. Today is Friday and it's our last XD Daily Creative Challenge. So good job, everyone, for doing every single day. I see you guys. I've been looking on Discord, looking at all your work. So great job. So today's our last day. Welcome, everyone, in the chat. We've got Yuhi, Lewis, Joshua. Already got some questions, Lewis. I'll get to you in a sec. Daniel. Hagen, Sam, Ahmed, welcome everyone. So as always, if you guys have any questions about whatever I'm designing, just let me know in the chat and I will reply to you. So Lewis, we're going to be using XD, Adobe XD, if you were wondering. So let's go ahead and hop on over to Behance if you'd like to follow along with me. I'm going to be on behance.net/challenge/XD, and we can go ahead and get started and see what today's final challenge is. So, awesome, Mr. Pixelis, welcome, Caroline, yes. So, as always, if you guys are new, be sure to register up here with this big blue button, and that way, each day you will get notified that there's a new challenge in your Creative Cloud up here. But today's the last day of these 2 weeks, so maybe you don't need to be notified. But we will have a whole new set of challenges with Howard, I believe, next Monday. So be sure to stay tuned for that. All right, so these last 2 weeks we've been working on the theme of like redesigning some of these apps that we're using while we're working from home, while you're working remotely, wherever you are. So today, what I want you guys to do is focus on sort of a file sharing app. So we're going to redesign the shared documents experience for your favorite file sharing and storage app. And as you design, we're going to do a super simple one, Repeat Grid, one of my favorites. Use a Repeat Grid to quickly replicate files in your lists. I thought I'd save something sort of just easy. We can ease into the weekend for today. And as always, if you want to grab that starter file, just hit that and then you'll come over to Dropbox and you can download it over here. This is just a starter XD file with some resources and you can kind of follow along with me if you want. And if you missed anything from these last 2 weeks, just go ahead and you can watch them with this button here. And of course, if you're not already a member of Discord, be sure to join us down here. You just got to scroll to the bottom of the page and let's hop over there. And if you guys have not joined, so we've got all of our channels over here that you can browse through. Definitely recommend you to check out the current challenge channel because this is where everyone has been posting all their work from these last 2 weeks. So if you just want to see like what people are working on, you can see like this one. This was from yesterday by Showcott. And I will be looking at a few of these at the end of this stream. So stay tuned. If you submitted some of your work, I might feature it on the stream. So lots of designs. Thank you guys for sharing those. And I'll give you feedback here too. You can see if I'm online or not over here. So I'll be looking after the stream. And let's go ahead and hop into XD. Let me make this a little bigger. Okay. So, hey Rosie. I didn't see you there for a second, Rosie, and I was like, Rosie's not here. We can't start without her. I know my regulars. Kadima, welcome. Okay, so this is our starter file. And as always, like all these components, I love for you guys to create your own. So if you're looking for them, they will not be here. But the fonts that I'm going to be using today, I know you guys always want to know those, actually, I'll get into those when I start designing. But like I mentioned, today we're working on sort of a file and document sharing area or app. So focus on that Repeat Grid. And I probably don't need to show you guys where that is because we use it all the time, but it's right over here. Repeat Grid right there. Super simple to use. It's very easy to catch on. Hey Chris, welcome everyone that's just joining. All right, so these bits of inspiration, I loved this one by UGem. I think I'm gonna go with like these 3 sort of columns. That's very just easy to understand for me. Kind of flows nicely. We've got just all of our folders over here, maybe some of the recent ones listed, and then like, you know, how much file space we have left. And kind of the same thing over here. I mean, a lot of the file sharing apps look pretty similar because it's just organizing all of your documents, but something sort of like that. But if you have a great new idea, new layout, totally feel free to do that. Of course, be sure to share your work on Behance and Discord when you're done. If you're sharing on Behance, be sure to share with the keyword XD Daily Challenge so I can find your work and give you feedback if you would like it. And today's tip. All right, so it's more of just a suggestion, a design suggestion, not necessarily a tip, but try experimenting by adding maybe some new features like the ability to color code files within shared drives. I would like to use that in Google Drive. I don't think that's a thing. Like, why can't we do that? I don't know. And maybe you want to use some profile pictures or some icons to indicate which items have been shared with you, which are your private documents, maybe like a lock icon or something. I'm not going to focus so much on the sharing, just like how we're organizing all of our projects more, all of our files. Okay, Mr. Pixelist said you can color coordinate everything in Google Drive. Okay. I need to explore that after this because maybe I just have not really seen that. Okay, so here I've got 3 different columns, like I mentioned before, and I just want your files to be in the center. Pretty straightforward. The font of today is Arial Rounded for the headers, and then maybe for the like subtext, all of the body copy, it's going to be, I'll just put like a document name here. We're going to use, what is this? Bofra, a new one today. Thought I would try it out. So we're going to use some repeat grid to fill this area, actually to fill all of these columns, but let's just figure out what each of these columns is going to be. So over here, I want it to be just like maybe storage or maybe like all files. How about that? Make that a little smaller. And then over here, this can be maybe like recent activity, recent, something like that. And down here we can have just our account info. Maybe we have a little icon, just kind of out of the way. And I'll copy this. Okay, Laura said you can color code folders, but not files. Okay, see, that's what I was looking for. Yeah, color coding the files in Google Drive. And this would be my name, Andrea Epi. Let's add a little drop down right down here. All right, so this area looks good. And it just helps me to figure out the layout first, like I was talking about yesterday. Can't really get into the visuals too much before you know exactly like what all these columns are going to be focusing on. And then you'll see I've got like super opaque, just some lines here to kind of help me coordinate everything. And I think I'm gonna leave those actually. Kind of nice sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes if it's super minimal. And then I've got this little component here for just like how much storage I have left. So these are the colors I'm going to be using. And let's copy this text. And then I'll just say I have like, whatever, 53 gigabytes, something like that. Gigabytes. Make this a little bit smaller. And I just want that to sit right under this little arch. And then we'll say like, we have a paid account, something like that. Center that. Perfect. Group all those. Okay. Joshua said, cool font. Yeah, I like it. Haven't used this one before. Okay. Now let's focus on just this center area. Where we're using our repeat grid. So I do know that I want to have a search bar. So I've got that component, and let's put that, normally I place it below the title, but I kind of like it in line with these 2 titles up here. And move this down. I heard some birds chirping and I was like, it's very rainy. I didn't think there was any like birds out today, and it was actually in the music. Sometimes there's like weird sounds in the music and I'm like, where is that coming from? Okay. And so these are just gonna be, we can switch maybe from thumbnail to just like list view, but I'm gonna do list view. I don't know about you guys, but I never really use the recent where it's thumbnails on Google Drive too much. I much prefer just like going into every single folder and looking that way, because recent always changes around, so I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Okay, so we've got our document, maybe the file size, and I want to add some of these components. So I've got just some little icons that I made of PDFs or, you know, Illustrator files or whatever the document type is. Color coordinated like I would like. I'm just gonna do 4 different colors. Lewis said, you copy and paste so fast. Yeah, I'm just like, I got all my shortcuts down, you know? Okay. And then I do want to add just some lines. Let's do 90 degrees. These might be a little hard to see. Let me bring this up a bit. So I want to add some lines here just in between all of these. Something super subtle. I'll align it with this search bar up here. Let's bring this over. And now we can use our repeat grid. So you can really use repeat grid for literally anything. It could be these icons, it could be fonts, it could be groups of things like all of this. Anything you want, you can use repeat grid on. Anything that you can select, basically. And I'm gonna actually drag this below so we can show some scrolling through all of these files. And then on the right side, we need something. We need a download icon. Let's kind of align that. Actually, I'll use this. And I'm aligning it with this icon up here. Again, like I've kind of been talking about this week, I usually don't just line things up with whatever is on top of it, like not that, because it has an icon in it, so I try to align more with what the element is rather than just shapes around it that don't really match, if that makes sense. And what else? Maybe when we uploaded, so like August 1st, 2020. I think it's the 1st. Caroline, haha, I thought I was hearing things. Yeah. Sometimes in the songs it's just random noises. Okay, cool. That looks good. Now for this, we can do a repeat grid, but I do want to add one that's sort of like we're loading, it's uploading or something. So let's say this is design file 123, and this is design file ABC. And here I want to add a little loading bar behind those. So it's like, oh, it's uploading. I'll make it the same blue color. Let's just send it to the back of those. And for send to back, I'm using the shortcut Command and the little left bracket. So that looks nice. Can copy these. And one here. We'll say this is image of chocolate. And this is some sort of PDF marketing file. Okay. And we need this. So now that we have a little bit of variation between all of those, and let me bring this down back to 13%, I think it was on. So now that we have some variation between all of these, you could just do repeat grid for like this group here and go down and go like this, and that would be super simple. But if you want to do repeat grid for, say, all of these minus this group of lines, you could do that as well. So I'll come over here, click repeat grid, and we'll start bringing it down. And it is going to repeat just every 4. So we're going to see again like one of these loading bars with this other close icon. And what we can do is whenever you see whenever you hover over the spacing between like your first group, you'll see this little pink area, and you can just drag this wherever you want, and that will affect the spacing for all of those groups. So I'm gonna just, that looks good, put it kind of on that same line. And I'll just bring it down a little bit further. So now that looks pretty good. If we wanted to, we could group all of these, or sorry, not group them, just select all of those. And again, we've been doing a lot of scroll groups this week, so I think you guys know how this works by now. But we could select over here, the scroll group, and you could bring it up a bit if that's where you want it to kind of end, or I'll just leave it right there. I think that looks fine. And so when we preview, let's make sure, yep. When we preview this, we could scroll through all of those. So the way to do that is just keep bringing all of your extra elements below this end of the screen, and come over there and do the scroll group. So the center is looking pretty good. I do want to make sure we have like this list guy selected. Aaron said, I was thinking about eating some chocolate just now. Maybe this is a sign. So was I. I've got some chocolate covered blueberries here. If you guys have not tried chocolate covered blueberries, it is just something delicious you need to try. Because you feel like you're eating something healthy too. So it's a win-win. Okay. Now on the right side, let's add some of our activity. So I want this to be like, oh, so-and-so uploaded a file, or so-and-so commented on your design document, something like that. So let's go in here, and I just want to copy this, and we'll paste this right here, and this will just be someone's name, Erin, and then let's say she uploaded something 3 hours ago. Yes. Aaron said, oh, that's weird. And I just typed Aaron Miller too. Aaron said, nice chocolate covered blueberries rock. They do. They are good. Okay. 3 hours, and just give a little description. We'll say, uploaded document. So that's our first activity, and we'll move this over a bit. And then, again, I just want a little line here, whoops, to kind of connect all of those. We'll do this vertically. So here, one more time that we can use our repeat grid. So let's say we have another one, but maybe I want, let's go back. Maybe I want something a little different for the next one. So this one could be someone else. John Smith. This could be 4 hours ago. And maybe he's asking a question. So what do you think of these design changes? Joshua said, I don't think I'll be able to buy the blueberries in my country. You could probably make them though. Make your own chocolate covered blueberries, or if you're saying you don't have blueberries, well, I'm sure there's other delicious treats that you could have instead though. Okay, and we'll say like reply, and the rest of these I'll just copy and paste maybe. But once you have a group that you like and you want to sort of repeat, we could start repeating. So it could be any number really of items that you want to repeat. I'll just leave it there. And then this will bring up, looking very clean. Now just need this left side over here. So this area just wanted to keep very, very simple. Just a list of some of our files, and I've got some cute little icons. Again, color coordinated, which I love. Let's make sure these are kind of in line. It doesn't matter exactly if they're spaced out properly or not, because I can always select them all, come over here to distribute evenly and do it that way. Let's make this smaller. And then we'll say this is freelance or assets or maybe finance, marketing, whatever. And I'll add one of our little drop down icons here. Like, this is the way that I prefer to browse through documents, just through drop downs. Actually, I want it to be over here, because nothing ever changes like spacing that way. So I think it's easier to navigate. And let's do another repeat grid. Okay. And again, I'll just do another repeat grid. Repeat grids within repeat grids. So easy. Just so we fill this space a little bit better. And I mean, if we wanted to, I do not want all of those. So you can do repeat grid vertically or horizontally as well. And then let's say I wanted this to be like opened up down here. So this guy, I need to ungroup that, but that's fine. Maybe this one was opened up like a subfolder, something like that. And that looks pretty good. So we added all of these elements, all of these icons and images, and all of these profile pictures over here super fast with repeat grid. I mean, that was like 15 minutes or something. So yeah. Aaron said, Andrea, do you use anything to choose your color palette? Honestly, it could be literally anything. Anything I see on the internet, if it's like an image, like someone's picture of their dress, or something I see on Instagram, literally anywhere. It could be, usually it's something like 3 colors I'm looking for. And otherwise, if it's like monochromatic, just one color, I'll just use, if I see, oh, I like this purple, and then I'll just come in here, let me like copy this and show you, paste this, and then what I'll do is come in here and usually just change it very slightly like that if I want the colors to kind of be the same tone. So like that would be a great color grouping. So I can base it off of really just one color too if I want. But yeah, to answer your question, kind of anywhere. No specific area. But I know Adobe has a color, I think it's called just Color, Adobe Color, color app as well. That's really great. All right, guys, so that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and Command S to save. We didn't really happen to the prototype tab today, but as always, if you did want to export this, if you added, well, we could show our scrolling or something. If we wanted to record this, just come over here. You can start clicking around and scrolling and stuff. And then when you want to stop recording, press that again and just save it wherever you want. And it'll save it as an MOV file. So that is our document. Now let's hop into Behance. And real quick, I want to show this. So if you do have a file that you want to share on Behance, make sure you come into Edit and then Settings. And make sure you add that keyword XD Daily Challenge. And that way I can find your work and give you feedback if you'd like. And I always like to look through some of these at the end of the stream. So let's check out some of you guys's. Yes. Joshua said, I really like the trick to add a lot of pictures to repeat grid. Yeah, definitely. Cool. All right, so just refreshing, and I always sort by most recent, so I see the most recent one, and I do have some pulled up already though. All right, so this one is by JD. This is a very cute color palette. I love this. Very like Easter eggy. Let's take a look at the prototype. So this was the one from yesterday. Time tracking app. Got our drop down. So we did components and we did the drag over there and you expanded it. And if you did want this expanding to be look like you're not tapping it and look like you're dragging it, just remember you can use that transparent, any sort of transparent element like a circle or square, and that can be the thing that you hold on to for your auto animate trigger. Just something to keep in mind if you wanted to do that. Awesome job. I love your layout. Looks good. Got another one here. This is by Shokot Shawan. And let's see if there is a prototype. Let's take a look. Got all of our colors in this drop down. Yesterday's was kind of a lot, so props to you guys that did yesterday's project. I had a lot of different animations in there. Awesome. I love the animation. It looks so good. Great job. I wish I could use some of you guys' apps like in the real life because these are awesome. All right, and this one is Annie. Sorry, I was reading the chat. Yes, let's take a look. Bring this back. Drag me to a date. Awesome. Ooh, cool. Different layout. I like this. Again, very minimal. Love your design. Thank you for sharing, Annie. All right, guys, that's about all the time that I have left for today. But thank you all so much for joining during these 2 weeks. I had a blast. I hope you guys did too. And after this, we're going to have a little bit of a break, but at 9 p.m. Central, we're going to have our Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge with Andrew Hockradle. So come on back for that. Have a little break now. And I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Bye, guys.